In this discussion, we shall look into photosynthesis. Very nice picture is given here. This is the world's largest producer. Plants are the largest producers in the world. Okay, they are primary producers also. So you can see here one plant is shown here with the roots, and it takes water through the roots and water flows up through the stem. It takes sunlight during the daytime. Okay, it takes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it produces sugar, is converted into starch, and oxygen is given off to the air. So this process is done by the leaves mainly because they contain a green element called as chlorophyll, which traps the light energy to make food. So this starch is stored food in other parts of the plant, like whatever food is produced starch, so it helps in growing the stem, leaves, everything. Okay, and the carbon dioxide enters the leaves through the stomata. So this is the process of photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means synthesizing of gas, taking CO2 and producing oxygen as well as sugars. So this is the role of plants, leaves basically, because they have chlorophyll, and it happens in the daytime during sunlight, and this process is known as photosynthesis. All living things need energy to survive. Animals have to hunt to gather food to get the energy they need, but plants can make their own food using light energy from the sun. Only plants make their own food. This process is called photosynthesis. It takes place in the chloroplast, tiny green structures found in the green parts of the plant. It is a complicated process, but basically carbon dioxide and water are converted to glucose, a simple sugar, and oxygen. So CO2 and water are converted into glucose and oxygen. In this way, plants make or produce the beginning of the most of the food energy on earth. This is why plants are called producers. They use some of the food energy to carry out their own functions, and the rest of the energy is stored in their leaves, stem, roots, and other parts. When an animal eats part of the plant, the animal takes the plant's stored food energy into its body. Creatures that eat food are called as consumers. Animals that eat plants directly are called as primary consumers. Animals that get their food energy by eating other animals are called as secondary consumers, since the plant's energy has been consumed a second time. The relationship between producers and consumers can be represented by food chains and food web. This discussion we have got in food chain and food web. That video is also available. You can watch what are primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and all. Eventually, all living things die. This is the time when the decomposers to use the energy. Decomposers break down to take the energy from the dead things into their bodies. Like decomposers are like a small bacteria, algae, fungus in the earth. They also enrich the soil, which helps plants to grow and create more food for all of us. So see, we die, animals die, plants also decompose. So when they are buried, these small animals, insects like bacteria, they decompose the material and they eat it, and then they enrich the soil also. So this was about photosynthesis. So very important function, and this is the main process wherein the world gets food basically due to sunlight and water. So here the reaction is mainly it takes sunlight and takes water, as well as there is a gas exchange. It takes carbon dioxide to produce oxygen, which is given to the air, and also it produces sugar, which is converted to starch and stored in the leaves, stems, roots, and all. So this was all about photosynthesis. Thank you.